All right. Hello.
Well,
Welcome to
hello.
Global Hack Week.
I'm
How are
excited
you
to
doing,
be here.
Kari?
I am doing wonderful. I just came back from a hackathon yesterday, and that was very fun. And I'm
Awesome.
excited. I've got more coming up. So if you're at any events, you might come and see me.
I think I'm actually going to be in town for your next one in Toronto. Is that right?
we should hang out.
We should. It's been a minute.
I know,
Alrighty.
it has been.
Ready to get
Hello,
started then?
everyone. Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. You can go ahead
Jump in.
and take charge of the slide.
Yeah, so welcome to day 4 of AIML week. I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited to be back. We're going to be starting off today. I haven't been able to join the earlier days of AIML week, but I'm excited to be back and I'm excited to be here. So let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. I guess I get to go first. So hi, my name's Kari. I'm a coach here at Major League Hacking. Fun fact about me is I am still knitting. I've actually right behind me over there, you can't see it. It's right off frame, but you can kind of see this like one singular piece of yarn about ye over there. That's for a hat I'm working on. It's very exciting.
Oh,
So
nice. It's so funny you mentioned that because my knitting is right here
I love
that I take
it.
with me to when I'm on flights to MLH events.
I had the thing happen to me yesterday where I dropped my yarn and
No.
it like went down the aisle.
Oh no! I've been paranoid ever since I saw that TikTok video.
I
Where, I
know.
mean, people were nice and built it
TSA.
back up,
TSA
but
reposted it. I loved it.
oh my gosh! Oh, that's still so
All
cool
right.
though. We have to share projects when we meet up.
Absolutely.
All right. So, fun facts about me. Besides that, I also knit. I'm also a coach at Major League Hacking. I was also at an event this weekend. Super, super fun. Loved the people there. I don't know that anyone's joining, given that they are totally sleeping off that event. But
So
as for my fun fact, I read 160 plus books last year, and I'm shooting for
Ooh.
200 plus this year, where I also include new languages.
That's awesome. I love reading, but I feel like I just get so distracted. There's so many good books
I
to read.
That's the thing. I keep getting more and more, and like I use my local library, so I also bring books with me on flights. But lately,
Yes, support your local library.
I've been PhDing, so because of that, I haven't been reading on flights. So I'm like super behind right now.
That's fair. Well, you've got time to catch up. It's
I
only
do. It's still
February.
February.
Well, all right. We've got some conversations in the chat here about people sharing with us um, some of their things yesterday and some of their favorite parts of Global Hack Week. So it looks like the Tetris game we played yesterday was awesome. Happy to hear that. Really loved the Streamlit app, Hack with David. Love data visualization. Awesome. Well, great. So, like we mentioned, we worked on a data viz app using Typee. There's Stephen. Very fun.
Ooh, explored natural language processing. That is always fun. That was going to be with David as well. So it seems like people are like calling out what they saw, and looks like MLH caught that too.
Awesome. That's what we love to see. And we claimed 3,500 points together. That's
That's
awesome.
incredible.
As you know, points are important and points are awesome for your community wins. And your community wins can earn you a great trophy. Was telling that to my event this weekend. I was like, I feel like it's been the same school for 2 years in a row.
I think it's been the same school for a lot longer than that, or at least there's like one school every like few years that just
And they
dominates the
swap like
competition.
first, second, third. I feel like we have to
Right?
get a new contender in there.
Yeah, gotta have that underdog come up.
Yeah.
All right. So
Well,
as for what's happening today, if you would like to check out the schedule at ghw.mlh.io/schedule, go ahead and do that. But we'll also be talking about what's happening today in the next few slides.
absolutely. Well, we'll be starting off with Alberto running a stream on your first ML model in TensorFlow.js. You'll be able to join him at 2 p.m. Eastern Time or midnight, 12:30 a.m. IST, and you'll get started on your AI and ML journey. Very fun. I'll go ahead and talk about the next one too, because I know who that one is. It's me.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll be doing mobile apps and natural language processing. We'll actually be continuing with our app from Global Hack Week Beginners Week, which I am very excited about. I think it'll be a fun way to continue from like a good little template. And you can join me for that at 4 p.m. Eastern Time or 2:30 a.m. IST. We'll be exploring some fun synergy between mobile apps and natural language processing, working on a little affirmation companion. I think it'll be really fun.
Cute. I love that. I'll have to check it out. Then we have data with creating your first RAG app, optimizing the output of large language models. As we go into the future, optimizations are super important. And, there's some side benefit of being able to be just a slightly better interviewer if you end up having to, obviously interviewing. You're wanting to consider the optimizations of your solutions and just keeping an eye on that. I think this will be a great workshop, at least in keeping that side thought about like, hey, am I really doing this the best way I could?
Absolutely. And then surprise, it's me again.
Oh
My
gosh.
goodness, this is a reschedule from the stream that was supposed to happen this morning. Unfortunately, got slightly delayed, and then we had some issues in the apartment. That being said, we are ready and set and all good to talk about how to plan out your next AI and ML project. We'll be talking about ideation, sort of creation of projects, brainstorming ideas, and things like that. Maybe you're looking for your next hackathon inspiration. Maybe you're looking for a long-term project. We'll be talking through one of my projects I'm working on this semester, actually, for my projects in artificial intelligence class, which is very fitting. So we'll have a great time, I'm sure.
How timely.
I
And then we
know.
have Viniac with a Sketchful mini event. So definitely a great time to take a brain break, stretch those creative skills, and play some Pictionary at 9 a.m. Eastern or 7:30 p.m. IST.
Right on time, early morning, or great post-dinner activity wherever you happen to be in the world, or like a good little lunch break if you're joining us from the European side of things. Ooh, I heard this one was a great stream too, so I'm excited for part 2 of it. Machine learning tools in MATLAB part 2. I'm pretty sure this is also a reschedule because Stephen had some issues. That being said, we're really excited for it to come back. You'll be able to join them at 10 a.m. Eastern or 8:30 p.m. IST for analyzing data, developing algorithms, creating models, and building applications with MATLAB.
Excellent.
So, great time.
And to close us out, we have tomorrow. I get to come back for Today in Global Hack Week, and you get to, again, get that recap, see what's coming on day 5. And I happen to know there's some mini events that I'm hosting tomorrow. So for those who have joined my mini events, they tend to know that they're oddly hard. So if you feel up to the challenge, I highly encourage you check out what's coming.
Absolutely. I think we'll have a great old time on the rest of Global Hack Week. That being said, we're going to open it up to questions. And we already got one earlier that I saw when we were discussing books. It's directed at you, Cecilia.
Ooh, so let me think about it. I'm trying to think, have I read any Arabic books that has been translated to English? Because I don't know Arabic yet, but that is also in my language learning list. I'm working through Spanish, Japanese, and I just picked up German. So I'm like, if I have time, these are the books that I'm looking at because they'll help with my vocabulary and just like seeing grammar in action. But if you have recommendations for Arabic books, I'm happy to check them out. I will unfortunately have to find them translated to English, but I do love learning about other people's cultures and the way that they tell stories. I'm trying to think, like maybe there is one. There's I think there was something not quite Arabic, I guess, but it was written by an Egyptian author. And I'll have to is it The Seven Moons of something Ali? Maybe that wasn't Arabic, maybe that was Egyptian. I also have Palace Walk, which I have on my to-do list of reading, which was by, I believe, an Arabic author as well. I could be wrong on that. But very, very interested if you have recommendations.
That's so cool. I love it. I love reading cool books. I just picked up French for funsies with Duolingo, which has been exciting. And then I broke my streak, so I have to revive it.
I believe in the dream.
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions from hackers while we chat about books and languages, I guess?
Absolutely. Or knitting.
Mm.
You know, I've been really enjoying bringing my knitting to different hackathons, like on flights when I'm traveling to events, or even like during event downtime. It's a great conversation starter with hackers. They'll come up and ask me what I'm making.
Oh, cute. It was lucky for the weekend event I was at. I knew a lot of people / they knew me from when I came last year. So
Same thing here.
Just like got to catch up with so many hackers and people, and I didn't have time to knit, which like sad, but
that's a good thing though. But also it's lovely when you get to come back to events and get to hang out with everyone and see everyone's faces again and see how much they've improved year over year.
Oh yeah, definitely. There were some great hardware projects this weekend. Somebody used an oscilloscope to make a face, And then they also had like a speech to text part where, or a text to speech part where they would be like, hey, here's this question. And then they would like get the voice back and like the little mouth would move. I think that was the next step that they tried to get it. But they also had an LCD screen in case like, accessibility. That was awesome.
That is really awesome. I had another good, really cool hardware project at my previous event, not the one this weekend, but it was like the hackathon was space themed, and it was like a little planter box for determining how much moisture should go in and out of your plants. With like a fully functional like web interface and like tracking of like how your plants are doing and whether they need more water, and it was great.
I need that. I need that. I'm trying to start a home garden. I grew carrots last year. This year I'm working on basil.
I killed my
rose.
I also
plants are hard. Plants are hard. Looks like we got
plants are hard. I forget to water mine too, and I've got very limited sunlight in at least this portion of my apartment, so it's hard. And then also like we've got a little balcony, but like no like good place to put like a little planter. And then I also out of sight, out of mind, so then I forget to water it if it's on the balcony. That being said, it might be a good spring activity too when I'm out here.
That's an idea. Okay, so I expected this question. So I actually finish 2 to 3 books a day if I'm given the time. These are like average 300 to 500-ish pages. The reason for that is I process written like language very quickly because I have a pretty firm grasp of English. If I'm reading like a book in Spanish, I will finish a book in like 2 to 3 months because there's so much vocabulary that I'm building up. But I do read pretty quickly. I'm not lying kind of thing. Like other people can confirm because they've watched me read and watched my eyes go and then been like, what did you just read? And I'm like, oh, this happened. So like it has been tested and proven. But I read quite quickly if I'm given the time, but I'm also a PhD student. So I like do, but don't have to. I have Schrodinger's time. As for finishing a book quickly, I mean, yes, there are a few books, like 3 of them that I read that were like sub 50 pages. But generally, like I look for books that have good stories that keep me engaged. If I get too distracted, it will take longer. But I'm mindful that like if I pick up a book 3 times and I still can't get through it, like I don't finish it. It's just I'm struggling. It's not worth it. Like the story's not engaging or the language can be pretty hard. I do take longer for like Shakespearean, like Victorian old English thing, just because it's not what I'm used to seeing and reading.
That's okay.
But like other people can like finish shows in like days, and I'm like, I can't even finish a show in a month. I struggle to pay attention to moving pictures.
See, I'm like, I feel like at least for me, one of the biggest things that's hardest about reading a book is that I have to be the one physically holding it. And I like, at the very least, like I love watching like TV or watching Netflix, or like my roommate and I, for example, we watch a lot of like competition reality TV, like Survivor, Big Brother, Traitors, that sort of stuff. Speaking of, if you haven't been watching The Traitors, you should. Just very random out there. The US season is immaculate. And they're bringing back all of my favorite stores, and it's very lovely, and I've been having a blast. And I've got to catch up on the episode that came out on Thursday. That being said, though, like I love it because I'm like I can knit, or I can like check something out, or I can like I don't know, respond to a text or something. I feel like if I'm reading, if I'm holding the physical book, then it's hard for me to do things at the same time. But if I'm like, but that's why I also like I like audiobooks, but I don't love audiobooks.
Yeah, audiobooks are really great for people who can do that, because I have the opposite problem where if I'm listening to an audiobook and I'm like, oh, I'll go like do my laundry or like wash the dishes, I get like hyper focused into the task and I just turn off my ears.
Oh, and then I know exactly what you're talking about. And then suddenly it's 20 minutes later and I'm like, I have no idea what just happened in this book, and I need to rewind, and then I don't know where I need to rewind.
Yep. So I'm a must have like my iPad or a physical book. I do prefer physical books, but I can't exactly, with the rate that I read, I cannot bring like 10 books on a flight. That's my whole bag. And if I have to rush to my next flight, I'm like, no. So I do use digital books. But yeah, audiobooks are great for people that are not me. Yeah. So as a result, I actually can't listen to podcasts. I have to go find scripts of podcasts when they have accessibility, like what's it called? Like approaches.
Oh yes, I love scripts for podcasts.
Scripts just make my life so much, because then I can kind of keep up with podcasts, but then I have to go download them and find them, and I'm like, So I think there's like 2 podcasts that I like try to listen to, and that's Welcome to Night Vale, which is a great story if you like eldritch horror, but like modernized.
Nice.
And like kind of getting back at what's it called? What's his name? He wrote 7 Leagues Under the Sea and a bunch of other stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his name. Oh well, okay, whatever. Point is, Eldritch Horror, really great, modernized. It's great. And then I think the other one was a D&D one by My Brother and Me. I forgot the McElroy brothers. They have a D&D podcast.
That's very fun. I love a good D&D podcast or a D&D stream. They're always very fun. My friends and I are running through like a legacy game right now, like a legacy board game of Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Ooh, that's a good game though. I love that.
Fun. We're halfway through a story. I don't want to give any spoilers, but like we just had like the last time we played, we just had like a ground shattering like thing where it was like destroy this, and I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Ooh,
so very fun. I highly recommend.
Yeah, no,
it's out of print. We had to like dig around for it.
I was gonna say like the legacy one isn't sold anymore. We have the like generic one where you can like play different ones and you're not actually messing with the actual like board that you can then have your own custom approach.
So ours is like 14 or 15 chapters, and we've been playing a chapter. We started in August, so we play 2 chapters a month, and we're planning to finish by graduation. So
cute. I love that. Exciting. Oh my gosh.
We've got a good follow-up question on book.
Why don't you go first? I've answered most of them. Maybe you have.
That's fair. I mean, I like a good, I know it's generic and I know it's corny, but I love a good like romantic comedy novel. I think they're fun. I read this like really good one. I'm looking at my bookshelf right now. I've got this really good one at a like local bookstore in Santa Cruz this summer. It was called Ghosts. It was like an alternate romantic comedy. It was more so like following this like woman after her breakup, and how she like decided to like kind of like focus on her life after the fact. It was like a very different, refreshing approach to the genre, but like I love it. They're corny, they're sometimes cringy, but they are very cute.
I do sometimes read those when I'm like I need like a palate cleanser after some books sometimes. Like I love my fantasy sci-fi. I am obsessed with sci-fi. And I've actually been starting to go through like some classics. Like I have some grad school friends who I've known for a very long time. And so they're starting a sci-fi book club. And so I didn't make the last one because I would have had to read The Time Traveler, which I was like, I want to read H.G. Wells, but life did not make it happen. So that's on my to-do list to catch up. But if you're sci-fi oriented, my favorite series so far has been Murderbot, which is it's a robot going through like a futuristic world and life as a like false human for a number of reasons. Very, very, very cool. But I do actually like reading more than just those genres. Like I like taking book recs from people so I can be like, well, I want to know what you like to read that you've enjoyed, so that way I can go enjoy it and then talk to you about it. Or like I can like again get that refresher palate cleanser. So I also like read nonfiction. I actually tend to stay away from modern fiction that's like adult fiction these days. I find that they're quite repetitive topics.
That's fair. I've noticed that recently too.
Yeah. And so as a result, I've like switched to mystery or like I said, nonfiction. Or even like mythology has also been coming back up where I'm like, I feel like I could do it. And I do like philosophy books or like not quite self-help books, but the ones that are like, here's some tips and tricks in the modern society and way in which you might manage your ADHD, or like learning to work with yourself and not for the good of someone else, or like that kind of mindset, just to be like, what are some tiny things I can pull out?
I've been reading a lot of those recently too, or like glancing at them, or like combining articles and podcasts and just kind of making a hodgepodge of things.
Yeah, because like what works for one does not work for another. Exactly. And like why not try things and see what pieces work and what don't, so that way you have your own custom way of approaching life.
I have a sticker chart that I bought at a Staples, like a magnet sticker chart for like completing certain tasks. It's like meant for children. Best purchase I ever made, period, hands down. Like the best $8 of my life. It was beautiful.
Easy. That is actually my thing with fountain pens. I use
Ooh,
that for my to-do list because it's fun to write with, and so I'm like, well, I want to like check off things on my to-do list to use my pen, or like I have fun stationery and stuff like that.
Fun
I
stationery
was
used to be
like,
my kryptonite for years.
mhm.
I now have an iPad, and now I just like I'm like I fun stationary my way into the iPad, so I'll like swap my little pens and like do little stuff.
Mm,
And I'm like, it's better too because I can take it with me everywhere.
true.
And I've been building that. No, my recent kryptonite for like addicting things have been Legos. I'm actually like sitting at my desk right now. My roommate and I went to New York City together, and so she bought the Statue of Liberty, and
Yes.
I've already got the Singapore skyline from when I used to like. I got it because I used to live there, and then for my Christmas this year, my friend, my roommate again, Trent, she's awesome, got me the Nashville skyline as like a custom built.
That's
And
adorable.
I love the little skyline sets. They're so fun. I'm very excited to build it. I have not had any time yet.
That has actually been my obsession with some of the bigger Lego sets. I found out that the bookshop, the like modular ones, that was being discontinued, and I managed to get my hands on one, and I was like, that build is waiting for me. But I do have others with me right now. I have a T1 camper, the old version, not the new one they came out with. I had the typewriter actually.
My
That
roommate
was
has the
fun.
typewriter. My roommate just bought the Titanic, like the
Oh my
behemoth
gosh,
Titanic.
that's cool.
Apparently, it's a post graduation plan for summer break.
I
Which
mean,
fair enough.
the typewriter was definitely a reward for some other like big life events that happened. That I
Exactly.
was
No,
like,
you need like a good reward for major life events.
exactly. So we do have a few more questions. Namely, I can also echo this. I did read the last
Ooh,
lecture. It was heartbreaking and so good.
good for you.
So good.
All right. Well, I've got a reading list for. I'm going to another event this weekend. Got a series of long flights because layover and trying to get places and stuff. And also, I'm scared of Air Canada now, so we're not doing that.
Understandable. I remember you here telling you mentioning all the stuff that happened, and I also have some friends who visited from Canada, and they're like, "So this happened," and I'm like, "Oh." So
Yeah, I got stuck in Canada trying to come back from a hackathon.
it's been some rough weather out there.
It really has been, and it's like slowly getting better, but then it's getting worse again, and it's like and it's in different locations too, and it's bad weather for different reasons. Like it'll be storm, there'll be wind, it'll be snow, it'll be rain, it'll be like a mix of everything.
I got all of that last night on my way back to my airport. So I prepared ahead of time, knowing where I was, because last time I almost didn't make it home. But this time I was like, all right, hey, I see the weather. Let me go move my flight. So that way, at least if anything happens, I'm coming straight home, because I would have had to lay over in Vegas during the Super Bowl.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was like, no, we're
that
not.
would have been rough.
Sometimes I like to fight destiny. Last night was not that day, but when I like returned my car, it was snowing by the time I had gotten into the airport through security, and I was like, I almost had to drive through that. It was just the rain, at least.
Okay, yeah. No, I had to. Yeah, snow and me and snow. Like I can drive in snow, but like it's never ideal, you know.
Like, no, it's not.
That being
It's
said,
like,
you know, it's very fun and very exciting. Well, I think we are good on questions here. We've just been kind of chatting, which lovely. Always love that I hang out with our Global Hack Week friends. That being said, we will go ahead and probably end the stream here.
I think so. Yeah, because there's no questions. There's lots ahead. I mean, take the break, get some water, get some snacks. Lots of great streams ahead. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see y'all at our future Global Hack Week streams, and
you have 2 today, so
I've got 2 today. I'll be here. You know, we'll hang out, we'll make some cool stuff, and then we'll keep going. I think it'll be a really fun time.
Awesome. Well,
thanks for coming, everyone. Happy Global Hack Week.
See you. Have a good one.
Bye.